Thanks for joining me on this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also be sure to follow me on these other social media platforms. Links are in the description below. Alright, have and have not fans, I'm just going to throw my hat in the ring for a theory that's been floating around the have and have not community the past couple of weeks. And to be honest, I can see why. I mean, the fact that Tyler Perry killed off three characters who really weren't who they said they were. I mean, for one, you had Oscar, who was a asset recovery specialist, meaning that he would put on many different faces, so to speak, without wearing a mask to begin with. Ooh, that sounded fly. Okay. But then you had on top of that Erica, who was pretending to be a love interest for David, when in actuality she was somebody who was trying to con him. Then you had Melissa, who originally was a con artist in her own right, so to speak, while seducing a drunken Jeffrey, while pretending to be somebody that his mom set him up with, but in reality it was to get her pregnant in order to get married, have a baby, and save her family from debt and her father from cancer. Wait, was it cancer? I think it was cancer. But yeah, basically, I feel that it is likely that a lot of the new characters introduced into the series in recent season, basically in 2018, are characters who really aren't who they say they are. Like, for one, we know Broderick is going to be initiating a plan to take Catherine Cryer's money, similar to Erica and how she tried to get David. We had Rocky, well, I mean, yeah, him and Broderick, because they're both running the prostitution ring at the hotel. Then you have Gia, who was supposed to be a lady of the night, as that white cop at the bar said one time, but really she is an informant for the feds. Now the people are saying that, what if RK is working with the feds as well? I have a feeling I did a video on just that a while ago, but I forgot about it. But to be honest, I mean, if anything, from the haves and the have-nots, we've learned that you really can't take these people at face value. Like, just because they tell you a backstory and whatnot about who they are, 9 times out of 10, that's not who they really are. They just fed you a cover story because they're working behind the scenes for an even bigger boss in their own arena. So I will say this much. I do think it is possible that RK is working for someone, but to me, he just seems like an immature kid who pretty much is getting himself into a situation he is not prepared for. If anything, RK sort of reminds me of Candace from early on in the series. Basically, the little girl playing an adult's game, thinking she's the smartest one in the room. RK really kind of gives me that vibe, except I do believe Candace was slightly more experienced and quote-unquote mature than RK, due to the fact he's willing to just steal. It's funny because RK is willing to steal and rob just as quickly as Benny is able to, or willing to lay in bed with a woman he just met. But it does make sense, because when you think about it, he really is trying to get close to Candace, just like Gia was. Gia is pretending to be this airhead, inexperienced prostitute, trying to get close to Candace to get information about the Quincy murder. RK is trying to get in her panties. So in a way, I mean, when you think about it, they both want in on the operation. We know Gia is new to the prostitution game. We know that RK just got hired on to the operation behind the scenes of the Artesian Hotel. Rocky was the one that got him onto the job. Originally, Candace didn't want him aboard. So one could say that, you know, he went through the back door when she wouldn't let him go through the front. I know that sounded very wrong, because RK is trying to get through the back door. But I digress. I think that is the case. Maybe RK was originally supposed to be an informant for just Candace and Candace alone. But then, you know, after seeing it's almost like the goose that laid the golden egg, you know, trying to go after Candace, who was like is a baby goose called a gosling? I guess Candace is the gosling, but then Veronica is the monster giant duck or goose that laid, and you know, he sees the huge eggs that she lays. And this analogy is going in all the wrong places. But basically what I'm saying is, maybe RK, with his greedy nature, was given the task of trying to reel in Candace to get information, but then he sees an even bigger treasure with Veronica, and because of that, he's going to end up being killed because he's being too greedy, or he's going to get his hands in a situation they shouldn't be in. Like the whole him being the one that write the suicide note and put it in Oscar's room. Then we know in an upcoming episode, Laugh Not to Cry, Veronica's going to ask RK to do some of her dirty work. If anything, you know, RK is definitely making more enemies than allies, because really he betrayed Rocky, the guy that got him into the operation to begin with, by telling Candace about Rocky, telling Oscar about him, about her, hence why he got beat up. Then he's pretending like, you know, oh, I don't know how Candace knew that information. And then he relayed to Candace that Rocky is going to try to go after her for, you know, what she did to him. Then on top of that, now he's trying to get mixed in with Veronica. And yeah, things are, I could definitely see RK being killed off. I'm not saying I want him killed off, because he seems to like a interesting character to watch on screen. And then on top of that, he stole from Veronica, tried to seduce / drugs, potentially drug / rob her son. Yeah, I don't think RK is going to make it out of this show alive. Not to mention the fact that he's now a regular on How to Get Away with Murder. So maybe he'll be in the upcoming season, but not for long. Either way, RK, I don't think he's going to be on the show for that much longer, because he has made so many enemies in such a quick amount of time. It's eventually going to close in on him. But do I think he's a informant, a member of the FBI or something? Possibly. I don't think RK himself is a member of the FBI. I feel like he's probably like a Gia level informant, so to speak. That's just my opinion. Maybe the two don't know about each other in terms of who they really are. Just my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think RK is actually working for something much bigger than he appears to be? No pun intended. So subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you later.